Hey, my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I like to start off every day with a fresh, hot, black cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. And of course, I think of my favorite quote of the century by Oscar Wilde, which says, life is too important to be taken seriously, so lighten up, folks. So today's topic is, drumroll please, dating life part one. Yay! So I hope you guys enjoyed my life of a drag queen series that just ended. So now I had done life of a sex worker before, but then I realized, that's different than my actual dating life. So that's what prompted me to do this video, or do this series, I should say. So this first part is just going to be an overview. Let me start off by saying, born and raised in the Bronx, I am 60, and the first thought process I remember having was being attracted to men. So in terms of my being gay, I always knew I was. Even at a very, very young age, 3 years old or whatever, like I even knew what the word gay was, and I knew that's what I was. Don't ask me how, how I even heard that word, but I've always said that, depending on the individual, we all are the unique individuals that we are. And maybe because I was born and raised in the Bronx and we could be a little more progressive and savvy about things, but I just was always in touch with my libido in terms of just knowing what I found attractive. I was having a conversation with one of my best friends, hey, Puddin', and he was, trying to argue the fact that, no, well, anyone who at that age would be thinking about that, something happened to them. No, nothing happened to me. I wasn't molested, anything like that. But I think that it's human nature. We all are sexual beings, I think, or sensual beings. So I think even at that age, although I didn't know what sex was or what have you, I knew that the norm was, usually men were with women, but I knew that I found men attractive. So, anywho, that's my individual story. And how did I know so young? No clue, but I just did. And I'm fortunate for that, because with me there was never any like coming out, or like, you hear these stories of people that didn't know or didn't come to terms with it, or maybe they knew deep down inside but chose to ignore it because of social norms. And the mind can be very powerful. So even if you know something about yourself, I think it's easy if you think that it's taboo, because that's what society used to say back then. And well, even now, but don't get me started on that. So I think it's easy to put it in the back of your head. I never did. I always knew I was a good person, and the fact that I was attracted to men didn't make me a bad person. So now, growing up in the Bronx, I was born in 1965. There wasn't a large outlet for me to like really explore it. Like, even though I was gay and I never really hid it, it's not like there was a surplus of gay people or gay guys that I could actually, you know, be with or hang out with, or uh, so I was a bit of a late bloomer. Like, even though I knew what I was, I remember I was like, I hit puberty like 13, 14, and then I kind of got a little heavy. And I always say that it's because I was a depressed virgin. I was eating a lot, and I think that was me supplementing the fact that I knew what I was attracted to. And even at that stage, I knew that I wanted to explore it, but the opportunity wasn't really there. So fast forward, at the age of 17, that was when I had my first kiss, when I was overseas for the summer and was with someone and spent the whole summer with them, a male, of course. And but it was interesting too, because there was intimacy. We were, to be graphic here, because we all know that's what I do. Yes, there was the intimacy. We were naked, but there wasn't actual penetration. We did everything else except that. But that coincided with my like getting food poisoning, and then I came back to New York, and I had lost like 25 pounds, and I was like, ain't no stopping me now. And I was 17. I mean, and to backtrack, I had started doing community theater like a year or so before that. And even though the opportunity was there, I think I was still, for whatever reason, not acting upon it. But I'm here to tell you, honey, when I came back, and then it was my senior year in high school, I definitely made up for lost time. So I was, as I refer to myself, a late bloomer. And again, I think that was more circumstantial than anything because, there wasn't a real outlet for me. And being in the Bronx, and it's interesting too, because when I think of myself at such a young age and being that self-aware, it's like I didn't have any role models. How did I even know, you know, people ask me that at times, well, how did you even know that, what the word was or that that existed? And I don't know, I just, I guess I've always been self-aware enough to know what floats your boat, what floats my boat. And I always make the comparison that, like, look, you don't choose to be gay, you don't choose to be straight. I make the comparison with like certain foods, like so many people are like, oh, liver. I happen to love liver, the food. So but why? Why is it that some people don't? It's your taste buds, and you don't control that. So I can't control that. What I find appealing to my vision and what gets me turned on are men and not women. You don't make the choice; you just are, and hopefully you're self-aware of that and evolved enough within yourself and comfortable with enough with yourself to accept it and not let anyone tell you that you're bad or you're this or you're that just because you're being true to who you are. So, okay, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe. And then now the further episodes coming up, because remember, I'm going to do 8 episodes, so every other Friday. This was just a short little overview. So now, moving forward, I'm going to be giving very specific instances, or because it is my dating life, then I will talk about certain individuals and how, how all of that went. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Love you.